In our story today of Bethlehem's Lamb, Mary's mother, Hannah, has been listening and watching as her husband finally believed, that his daughter Mary was pregnant with the Son of God. Hannah looks on dazed. How can this possibly be true, she wonders. I'm not moved by Scripture as my husband is. No, I refuse to believe it. I've suffered far too much disgrace to cave in to such prophetic sandcastles. Then suddenly, the boisterous voice of Hannah's sister Deborah barges through the door, crashes into this emotion-charged atmosphere of the little hut, and squawks, "Have you heard the news?" Mary and Joseph look on surprised. Haley, obviously agitated, groans to his sister-in-law, "Not now, Deborah." "No, listen," she cries, half crying, half laughing. "Our dear old relative, Elizabeth, has had a baby. Can you imagine? A baby at her age, a little boy." Hannah stiffens. She remembers how Mary had told her that Elizabeth was pregnant, and she had not believed it. Mary had even told her they would name the baby John. Hannah's eyes widen and her face turns white. "Can you believe it?" Deborah chortles. "He was born a few months ago. We just hadn't heard the news up here in Nazareth. They say his name is John." A tear starts down Miriam's cheek. She leans closer to Joseph and quietly weeps. "What? John?" screeches Hannah, shock sweeping over her. She weaves unsteadily as though ready to faint, and Joseph reaches out to help her. Recovering herself, she catches her breath. "That means..." A scream tears from her throat. She rushes to Mary's side, weeping wildly. "Oh, my child, my poor child," she cries, grabbing Mary's hand. "I am so sorry I've been so blind. It's this wretched pride of mine. I have been too caught up with my own shame to believe you. Now I know it's true. Everything you tried to tell me. The angel, your baby, Elizabeth's child. It's all true. Oh, my precious daughter, you have truly honored this house by being the chosen one." Then Hannah pauses and closes her eyes as though struck again by a sudden epiphany. Her face glistens as revelation sweeps over her like waves of a sea lapping over the shore of her heart. Tears run unchecked down her wrinkled face. A thick silence fills the room again as everyone waits to hear what she will say. Finally, she opens her eyes, her face beaming. She tilts her chin high and struts over to her husband. Placing her hands tenderly on his time-weathered face, she crows, "My dear husband, do you know what this means?" She hesitates, waiting for her words to sink in. He looks at her curiously. Then triumphantly she announces, "Our first grandchild will be the Son of God, the Messiah of Israel." Oh, precious one, listening to this story, do you see why this is the greatest love story ever told? It's the love of a man and a woman, the love of parents for their child, the love of a mother for her baby, and most of all, the love of a father for his only son, the love of God's Son for you and me. It's the most exquisite love story of all human history, and through this story, you and I can learn to love. It's the love story of Bethlehem's Lamb.